it's supposed to feel.
Welcome back everyone. I have another test for you today, and this is a test that I actually wanted to do. So I want to test Dr. Web versus Grindsoft versus IObit malware fighter. It's been a while since I've tested IObit. There is the latest version, and Grindsoft I have not tested before, and also it's been a while for Dr. Web. So if we quickly have a look at the settings for Dr. Web. Let's maybe quickly do this. Okay, so under Splendor Guard, it's pretty much enabled. Cure and move. Under Advanced, sorry guys, I know it's a bit squished. So I've moved, I've enabled the jokers and hack tools, everything to be moved. Optimal, and yeah, pretty much there, everything's enabled. Splendor Gate. Okay, firewall. Allow connection of trusted applications are selected, and allow packet filtering, so that's on the firewall. Splendor Mail, obviously not going to test. Scanner, so I'll quickly go back. Okay. Ransomware protection, so you can see it's enabled, set to a block with no custom rules. Behavior analysis, I set it to medium. Otherwise it's paranoid, and then we might have too many interfering with the scripts and things like that. So I think medium is above the optimal, so I think that's fine. Exploit prevention, prevent unauthorized code from being executed. Security center, and yeah, there's no exclusion for the script. I actually want to see if Dr. Web actually interferes with the script. If it does, then I'll create an exclusion, but I think I remember from the last time it didn't interfere with that. Okay, that's about that. So under normal settings, general, notifications, update 30 minutes as is recommended. Network, self-protection is enabled. Dr. Web Cloud, antivirus network we're not going to use. And the scanner set to maximum, and move everything to quarantine. Now with Grindsoft, I must say I'm not really fond of this interface. It's a bit confusing and things like that. So we've got scan at the top, and then you can choose your different scans, and it shows what files have been scanned. Okay, so under protect, it's not much you can enable or customize. It's either it's on or it's off. So internet security is on. On run protection is on as well, with access control. And then removable devices on, not that we're going to test it, but it is on. Update, so this is where we check for updates. Tools, you can reset browser, quarantine, collect info, and things like that. Okay, so under settings, general, so let's start with Windows. Integrate context menu scan, status bar, send statistics to them, scan and clean, so it's deep scan, potential, so to do PUPs as well. Heuristics we set to maximum. Terminate memory thread while scanning. Don't create any restore points or anything, that's not selected. Update is every hour. Then it's just language, and then schedule scans are disabled. And yeah, that's about it. So not much for there. With IObit, let's quickly have a quick squiz at the settings. Okay, so homepage advisor is enabled. Anti-tracking is enabled. DNS protect is enabled to use the current DNS. Surfing protection is enabled. Okay, then all the protection, as you guys can see, all the pro version, all the pro functions are enabled. Okay, then it's just the toolbox and action center. Okay, so let's quickly look under settings. So on the scan option, set to high priority, scan compressed files, use advanced heuristics, scan PUPs, crack tools, etc. Move thread to quarantine list. Auto scan is not selected. Nothing whitelisted, nothing quarantined. Protection is set to protect all files, automatically process the thread, so that there's no delay and maybe allowing the malware to have a foothold on the machine to quickly eliminate it. Enable DOG and selected. Auto update, that's selected as recommended. Notifications, and yeah, so that's pretty much that for okay. Yeah, I didn't show the anti-ransomware, sorry. So under anti-ransomware, all the file types are selected. As you guys can see, it is to protect my documents, pictures, videos, contacts, etc. Whitelist, nothing. Blocklist, history, nothing. So that's that. IObit engine is enabled. Bitdefender engine is enabled. And that's that. Okay, let me quickly pause the protection for all three so I can get the malware extracted. Okay, so all the malware is finally extracted. We got a quite of a high sample count again. So we have 3,183 on all machines. Again, it is ransomware, it is Trojans, it's info stealers, keyloggers, PUPs, greyware, office documents, fileless malware, zip files, you name it, they are all in here. Okay, so we'll quickly just check that you guys will see that the machines are clean before we start the test. Okay, so I think now we can maybe just do an update. Okay, so we're just quickly checking for updates. I'm just starting Grindsoft in the meantime. Nope, I don't want it to do a scan. Okay, so it's busy doing an update. Okay, IObit says it's up to date. Grindsoft says it's up to date. Just want to make sure Grindsoft did start, because I don't see it yet at the bottom. Okay, IObit is done. Okay, so we're just gonna wait for Dr. Web. Once it's done, we'll start the test. Okay, so Dr. Web is up to date, as you guys can see. So I think I'm just gonna start enabling the protection. So we'll start internet security there. Okay, behavior analysis. Okay, I think in the meantime let's do IObit. Okay, so the exclamation mark, yeah, okay, cool. There's the exclamation mark, it's gone. So Splendor Guards enabled, firewall. security center, preventive maintenance, preventive protection, ransomware protection, behavior shield. Okay, so as you guys can see, all of that is enabled. Okay, I think let's just lock it. Okay, so now it's locked. Tamper protection is enabled. We're going to do a runtime protection. We're going to do, just for the giggles, we're going to put remote USB protection enabled. Access controls enabled. Internet security. Okay, so as you guys can see, it is starting to check files, so that's good. IObit is enabled. Full protection. Let's go home. PC is protected. Okay, Dr. Web I think is ready. Grindsoft is ready. Okay, so I think now it's going to be the website test. Okay, so Dr. Web is already saying neutralizing threat, so that's good. Seems like it's a bit quicker than the other two. Yeah, Defender is disabled. Okay, here we go. IObit seems to be on the slow side. Okay, so as you guys can see, the IObit self protection is enabled. It's just because it's a bit squished that we can't really see it. Okay, Dr. Web is giving us some blog pages. Okay, let's proceed that one. Okay, so I think that's done. Let's quickly see what happens here. Seems like we have a couple of misses here of Grindsoft. Okay, so let's see on the IObit machine. Don't see any IObit pages. Okay, so I would say Dr. Web did the best for me here. I'm not quite sure with Grindsoft and IObit. There was no notifications that any pages were blocked, especially with IObit, which is odd because it does have the plugin for the browser. Okay, so nothing is running. Let's quickly check our folders. So as you guys can see, there is the IObit plugin. So yeah, not sure what happened there, but I would say Dr. Web is the winner overall. But let's quickly check the downloads folders. Okay, so let's just delete those two. Okay, so there it picked up a threat, but I think it's only because the Explorer was open. But that's good, we will apply it. Okay, so we have 8 items versus 18 items versus 3 items that we can delete. Okay, so yeah, Dr. Web definitely did better here. We only got 3 bin files. We've got 8 files with Grindsoft, and then we've got 18 files with IObit. So IObit definitely did the worst. I just want to see if we can open these zips. Okay, so that's just a library file. Okay, that's password protected. Damaged. Okay, yeah, so yeah, you can make your own conclusion. So by judging by that, I think this is gonna be an interesting test. We haven't even executed the malware. Just want to empty the recycle bins. Okay, now it's time for the malware test. Okay, Grindsoft is going completely nuts, which is good. Let's see what IObit is gonna do. Okay, so yeah, we've got a bunch of pop-ups here, which I think is a good thing. Let's see if anything is loaded. Doesn't seem like it. Dr. Web seems like we have already 1 malware that's loaded. Rating is 48. IObit seems like we already have more than I can count. Yeah, the real-time protection is on, so I don't think this is gonna go well for IObit. Damn. And for those who don't know, IObit does have the Bitdefender engine, but I think this is gonna be a good test to show. Doesn't matter what engine you use, it's coming down to how you use it and how you implement it. Because if you take IObit and Bitdefender, I think Bitdefender will blow IObit out of the water without breaking a sweat. Okay, but Dr. Web is doing its thing, but it does, it does look like we have a bunch of stuff running here, which is not good at all. Not good at all. Okay, let's always block. Okay, move to quarantine. Is it just me, or does Grindsoft look like it's doing better than the other two? But yeah, it ain't over to the fat lady thing. Well, it's doing its thing. It's giving us a lot of pop-ups, so that's a good thing. And it doesn't seem like anything's running, so that's impressive compared to these 2 products. Damn. So I think it's gonna come down to IObit or Dr. Web. But yeah, like I said, it ain't over yet. But it's a good sign that we already have a bunch of stuff on Grindsoft. So I'm actually think it's gonna be an interesting test, guys. I don't know what you guys think. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff opening here on IObit. And we set it to automatically move and quarantine, so that's why there's no notifications. And it says we are protected, which I don't think we are. If this was my physical personal machine, I would start crying. You know, it's bad when you can't keep up with all the malware that's opening. Like, there's so many stuff opening and opening that you can't even keep up. Then you know that's bad. But yeah, funny enough is also I haven't seen any real notifications from Dr. Web, which is odd. Okay, so Grindsoft is doing its thing. Okay guys, yeah, so let me attend to this. I don't want to bore you guys and make the video unnecessarily too long, but yeah, as you guys can see, seems like Grindsoft, the one that I actually thought, oh well, it's still in the beginning, but so far for me it's doing better than the other two. So yeah, I think that's going to be an interesting test. So yeah, so let's see what happens guys. I'll let you know if anything weird happens, but for now I'm just going to try to attend to this malware, and yeah, then I'll let you guys know. Okay guys, and we are back. This was quite a long test, especially when it came to Dr. Web. Kept on freezing numerous times and I had to execute, re-execute, start all over again, but I'm just gonna stop the test now for Dr. Web. As you can see now, it looks like it's kind of semi-frozen again. I'm not sure, maybe it will respond again, but as you can see, not really much happening, but it should respond now. Okay, good. Yeah, there, finally we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna in any case stop the test for Dr. Web. So I think let's quickly have a look at all the results. Okay, so there are still malware open here. I'm gonna execute that. Let's do that quickly. Just want to see what's currently running. Okay, let's see if we can open a Process Explorer. Okay, so while we wait for Dr. Web, let's quickly have a look at Grindsoft. Okay, so we have a couple of things open here. Let me just quickly close that one. Okay, so for the downloads, okay, so there's a bunch of files in the downloads. Obviously that downloaded during the test. We'll quickly go to documents. Okay, now we've got two Dr. Webs. I think it just restarted. Sorry, some of these machines are really slow now after the testing. Okay, so our documents on Grindsoft seems to be intact. I have to note Grindsoft is the only one that managed to finish the test. IObit, you can already see why it did not finish. And Dr. Web, as you can see, it's just slow, not responding. Okay, so as you can see, our pictures are intact. It's just a little bit slow to load the thumbnails. We do have a couple of things open here. Close that. Okay, Dr. Web still not really responding. Okay, so our picture seems good. So I'm just going to close Explorer. Okay, finally Process Explorer has opened. Okay, so Process Explorer is not opening on the IObit machine, but yeah, as you guys can see, we've got ransomware infection. And the ransomware that's on this machine is our old friend, Stop Deja Vu. So also Malwarebytes got infected quite early into the test. So I just eventually stopped the test for IObit. And Process Explorer is not opening. Okay, so under Grindsoft, we only have KMS Auto, or normally KMS Pico. Then we've got Screen Connect that can be used to remotely view the machine without us knowing. Okay, so let's see if anything in Project Explorer has launched. As you guys can see, Dr. Web is still not responding. I was actually kind of hoping to show this to you guys, but yeah, there was a bunch of malware running in memory on Dr. Web, like so many that you eventually want to stop counting. But I would have loved to actually show you guys that. Okay, so with IObit, yeah, not much installed. Like I said, we barely started with the test and IObit already lost, so it was okay. So we've still got a couple of things open here. Just gonna close it. Okay, so we still have this one running. Okay, sorry guys, the Grindsoft machine was just super slow, so I was just waiting for it to catch up. So as you can see, we cannot open Task Manager, it's been disabled. It's also not giving us the virus total scores, so we'll just have to spot it manually, but I don't think it's gonna be a problem. I'm just gonna quickly go through it. So obviously a couple of PowerShells still active. This IObit or whatever it is looks weird. Obviously this is definitely not legitimate. Looks like it's a bit frozen. Okay, so I tried to just use the auto run on the IObit, so I can just more or less see what is happening. But yeah, this machine is also not very responsive. Okay, we've got a CMD, so let's close that. So yeah, so as you guys can see, there's definitely some weird things running here. So like here is where we're getting to the more physical malware. So as you guys can see, also quite a couple of stuff running, but that's less than what was running on the Dr. Web machine, I can guarantee you that. Not much less, but very similar, but there was definitely more things on the Dr. Web machine. But yeah, as you guys can see, we definitely do have quite a number of things running. Task managers disabled, but at least no ransomware infection, so that's also good. So yeah, not much in auto runs. This one's task manager is actually opening up. Okay, so we have this one startup item here. As you can see, Dr. Web is still taking a nap, and yeah, that's quite interesting. 666. So this is definitely an evil malware. It's not a friendly one. It came from the abyss to possess this machine, and it definitely did. So yeah, updated running Microsoft, blah blah blah, Microsoft startup. So yeah, so that's definitely something naughty. Then we've got this one, seems to be broken, and yeah, okay, cool. So unfortunately I cannot show much. Dr. Web is just completely frozen, can't do anything. Startup managers, can't check startup items. Yeah, we do obviously have all these pop-ups, and we do have, as you can see, a lot of random things coming up. PowerShell, you name it. Okay, so I'm just gonna force reboot the Dr. Web machine. I'll reboot the rest, I'll update everything, do the full scans. Once it's done, then we'll look at the results. Okay, so now that the full scan is completed, I just had to wait for Dr. Web. It was a bit on the slow side. So now, as you can see, 1,898 threats were detected, but only 1,862 were neutralized. So I've quickly checked. So some of the infected objects, like here where it says cure error, it's a couple of files in app data. was not able to cure, so it was infected, and some archives it was unable to cure as well. So IObit found the 68 threads, because I think the majority of files are encrypted. So it was able to cure this, and you're wondering where Grindsoft is. It is all the way here. So sorry, I didn't reshuffle the screens, so we're just gonna have to look at it like this. So it wants to reboot to complete the process, but initially I did do a scan. It found more issues, and as it was quarantining the threads, it did a blue screen. I had to wait for it. Once it was back up again, I did a full scan again, and this is now the final results, which you guys can see. So I'm gonna reboot all three of them. I'm gonna reboot it through this window, and then we'll start the last bit of the test. Okie dokie, so now the test is finally completed. So let's quickly look at the final results. With Hitman Pro on Dr. Web, we obviously have app data roaming, app data local, temp, and then a couple of malware on the desktop, the folders. Okay, then we've got here app data local again, but not in the temp, so this is app data local service app. And yeah, that's that. Okay, cool. So not that much. On Grindsoft, seems like it's not liking some of the files under MSisoft scanner. Okay, so that's spread out. Okay, so we do have this one here, app data local. On the desktop, and then we've got the files under this MSisoft. Then we've got a C under the C drive. We've got this new folder here. Program files, suspicious, Windows suspicious, and yeah. IObit. Yeah, we have quite a bit of. Okay, actually not that much, right? But yeah, this looks like can be serious. Now on NPE for Dr. Web, seems like we've got app data again under temp, but then we've got micro app, which I don't think that's a Microsoft Edge installer, and telemetry. Okay, so 3 problems there. On Grindsoft, we've got 21 issues. Program files, so there seems like there might have been something installed. Program data, that's a PowerShell script, so that's not good, so that's persistent threads. App data local temp, and then we've got app data roaming, and then under my user account, and then system32 drivers. So it seems like the host file might have been modified, so that's not good. So in the host file you can also add additional DNS entries and things like that, so that's not good at all. I don't think I've got NPE on this machine. Nope, I don't. Okay, cool. So let's quickly move over to Komodo quick scan. Found no issue, so we'll just exit that bad boy. Oops, I actually clicked on restart. Sorry guys. My bad. Okay, so let's quickly look at Komodo on the Grindsoft. So we've got disabled UAC, and then also picked up the host file that's been modified. Hopefully I can stop the restart. Okay, no, so okay, cool, that's fine. We'll look at those results. Okay guys, sorry, that was a rookie mistake from my side. I accidentally rebooted Dr. Web, and it's not gonna boot. The reason for that is sometimes Komodo Cleaning Essentials does break the boot, so that's why I don't really use it as much. I'm just obviously using it for the purpose of picking up malware, so I don't really use it myself because I know it tends to break the boot of the device, and you'll see Dr. Web's not going to boot up. But if I quickly run you guys through what on Dr. Web was, Malwarebytes obviously found a couple of issues. There were registry keys and startup items. IObit also found a couple of problems. Kaspersky Quick Scan also found a couple of issues. And yeah, I don't really check the startup items, but I can imagine that they are startup items. I can't really see that there might not be at least one startup item, because we can already see what NPE and Heatman Pro showed us the results, so we can kind of come to the conclusion there must be at least one startup item. Okay, so I'm just going to move on. Again, sorry, that was my mistake. Yeah, so we've got the Komodo. Then on the Kaspersky, we do have obviously this thread running in memory, this auto run. Then we've got a Java. There's a bat file, and then we've got a couple of PUPs, backdoor stuff. Yeah, so there's obviously a couple of problems here, so we're just going to move that to that side. IObit, system memory, proxy changer. So that could be something that interferes with our internet traffic or DNS to reroute traffic to where it's not supposed to go. Mainnet script, so that could be part of the ransomware. Let's maybe check. And then we've got a backdoor. What's maybe related to it, I can see sometimes Screen Connect is open. So like I've mentioned when we did the malware test, could be used to connect to the machine. Okay, so IObit obviously found a couple of issues. Program files, so obviously that might be stuff that's installed directly under my user account. App data local. Okay, because as you guys can see there, Dr. Web is broken, but that's not due to malware, that's due to the Komodo cleaning essentials. It sometimes messes with the MBR. App data roaming, blah blah blah. Couple of things here. Just gonna quickly scan through the app data, and then obviously files that downloaded during the test directly under my user profile, system32. So yeah, that's another thing, is as soon as this machine boots up this Grindsoft, there's like a lot of command prompts and PowerShells pop-ups. As you can see, we've got quite a number of scheduled tasks. So yeah, definitely not in a good shape. So new. Then we're going to move over to Malwarebytes, to its location. Okay, so program files, also yet that same one again, program data, app data, a couple of files and downloads, system32, so as you guys can see here are scheduled tasks, runtime broker, then we've got a couple of registry keys, so quite a number of registry keys. They are rated as Trojan generics. Then there's a rat tool, which obviously might coincide with the Screen Connect. I'm not sure, but obviously yeah. So rat tools are not to be played with. That's always bad. There's a miner, so it could be used for coin mining. Another one. So yeah, some serious infections by the looks of it. Okay, so let's see what's left. The command one is to exit new. I need to learn from my mistakes. Okay, so under documents, doesn't seem like we've got ransomware infection. Pictures seems good. Downloads is obviously destroyed on the IObit. Same for the docs and same for the pics. So yeah, that is a fail. Yeah, program files. Yeah. Oh, I did actually do a Malwarebytes on this one. Sorry, I forgot. I was kind of in my head thinking, hey, Malwarebytes was encrypted. Okay, so we've got a couple of problems here, 1905 to be exact. Okay, program data again. So a couple of bin files, log files, program data. Yeah, I'm not gonna go through all 1900, just gonna quickly skip it. And then obviously it picks up the malware on the desktop even though it's encrypted, so that adds to the number. Obviously, as you can see, quite a number of malware on the desktop. I didn't delete them as they were encrypted. but yeah, it's definitely picking up malware on the desktop, so that's a good contribution to the number. Let's scroll down. Okay, couple of registry keys, proxy server, so yeah, so stuff definitely interfering with our internet traffic. Auto config, manual proxies, yeah, this is bad, this is really bad. Windows Defender, where did I see that? Windows Defender, I'm not sure if it actually disables Windows Defender. Anywho, I'll close that. And then we wanted to look at control panel, didn't we? Yeah, I think we did. Okay, let's open up that bad boy in the meantime. Let's quickly look at this one. Okay, cool. So there's KMS Auto still. Let's see what we have here. Okay, doesn't seem like much. What's left? Yeah, so just apply. Okay, so let's look at our startup items versus IObit. Okay, so startup items. Okay, so we obviously have this. We've seen this one before. Okay, so there's that malware that was detected by the third-party scanners. App data roaming. Yeah, there is a text file also popping up. So then obviously we've got Java that's obviously being used for fileless malware. Couple of VBs. So there's net support that can also be used to remotely connect to the machine. OS stock. Yeah, so that was also detected as something bad. Programs. Yeah, okay, cool. So not looking super great. IObit only have one because yeah, it didn't really get far into the test. What's left? Okay, Process Explorer. Okay, so yet again, obviously with the proxies and the DNS changes, whatever, obviously Process Explorer seems to have an issue maybe connecting, checking virus total verdicts. It could also be used to try to mitigate any security program from updating and removing the threats. Okay, so we'll have to spot it old-fashioned way. Just quickly gonna go through it, I'm not gonna spend much time on it. We've got quite a high number of SVC hosts running. Yeah, it's quite a lot of them actually. Java, then we've got this. So yeah, not that much that I can actually see that's directly maybe malware. But yeah, this is definitely not how our normal machine should look like. On IObit, seems like still have this, also the same issue. Okay, I'll quickly go through that. Okay, yeah, so I think that's that. I don't think there's anything else that's left. So yeah, okay guys, I think this is the end of this test. Again, so let's quickly recap Dr. Web before I made the rookie mistake. I actually wanted to show you guys the results, but yeah, so you kind of got an idea of the first third-party opinion scanners, kind of what the results will be. But yeah, so there's no ransomware infection on the Dr. Web. It wasn't that badly infected, but we have to keep in mind I most probably only executed half of the malware due to time constraints. I don't want to spend too much time on these tests because we're already over a day. So yeah, so I have to keep that in mind. Grindsoft executed all the malware. IObit made most probably only a couple of hundred, but yeah, only I would say I'm doing a guesstimate on malware, but I would say about half. So we have to keep that in mind. Maybe the other half would have infected it even further. Most probably a ransomware infection, we'll never know. So we'll just have to keep that in mind. But yeah, not super great results by Dr. Web, I would say, but not bad either. I'll place it like kind of in the as an average anti-malware solution. The new version does look a little bit better, but still the same layout. But yeah, can't really say good results from Dr. Web because we're kind of in the gray area. We haven't tested all the malware, etc. But yeah, so you can take it with a pinch of salt. Grindsoft actually did better than what I thought it would. I thought it would be like a super anti-spyware or like a Malwarebytes or like an IObit. But yeah, it actually survived the test. Obviously it's not looking good. We've got a lot of startup items. The machine has definitely been compromised. But yeah, at least it survived the ransomware infection or ransomware payloads and things like that. Sorry, not infection. So I would say not bad results from Grindsoft, although it's not a clean machine obviously, but considering for the program it's not super well known, I don't actually think it did that bad. But yeah, if you have to look at it holistically, yeah, not super great results either. IObit, yeah, I don't think I need to waste any oxygen on this one. I think it speaks for itself. I've tested IObit since I think version 7 or version 8, and it is just as what it was as it is now. So I want to choose my words carefully. But yeah, not great results from IObit at all. It just shows you doesn't matter with flashy marketing. It's got a Bitdefender engine. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You can have a super nice car, but if you're a bad driver, it's not gonna help. You're still gonna crash the car quite fairly early. So yeah, this is a good example of a good engine not being used good at all and poorly implemented. So bad results from IObit. I can't and I most probably will never recommend this product. Grindsoft, maybe they'll improve the product. The only downside is it's a 6-day trial. After the 2 days, meaning 4 days were left, it disabled the internet security, so meaning no website, no internet protection, but the real-time shield does stay on. So I'm not really great or a fan of how they do their trials. It's only 6 days, and after 2 days you lose your internet security, which is not great either. Dr. Web definitely looks the best, but yeah, so you guys can make your own conclusion about this test. So it was interesting, but I wanted to make this test because I've never tested Grindsoft. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about the test. I think it was informative, but these 3 products, yeah, you can see how they fare against the previous products we tested, and yeah, not so great results from either of them, but at least Grindsoft and Dr. Web did survive ransomware. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought. I'll be working on the other tests. I do have quite a list of tests that I still need to do, so I'll get to your test. It might just take me a bit of time. But yeah, thanks again guys for watching. Like and share the videos. Hit me up in the comments if you guys have any questions or things like that, and I'll get to your comment as soon as I can. And yeah, hope you guys have an awesome day.